Today we're going to begin our escape pods, inspired by, of course, Superman, one of the most famous escape pods of all time. That's how Superman ended up on Earth. Every student will have a piece of cloth. They will have a chunk of clay. You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. It's all you get. You have to work with it. And you will also have a little tool like so. It's got 2 wires. Be nice to my tool. It is for slicing. It is for carving. It is not a spoon, and we will not use it that way. It's also not a saw. Not using it like a saw. So your first mission is to take this lump and do some shaping to make it so it looks kind of like a spaceship. Now the bottom part has to stay flat. That way, you know, it can sit on the table. But you can do some pinching to alter the shape so it looks pointier. You can use the table to help you along and help change the shape, or I can sit here and roll it a little bit if I want the top part of my escape pod to be curved. If you get any cracks along the way, you can smooth it with your finger or get it wet with a little bit of water, and I will have some squirt bottles on the table for you to use. And while you're shaping your pod, you're not worried about all the little things that might stick out. You're just trying to get the basic shape started. Any little parts that stick out, we will add on later, and they won't be super huge. Once you have the general shape of your space pod, remember it's going to get fancier later. Once you've got the general shape, you need to see me so I can use my wire tool, my slicer, and do some slicing and dicing for your box. Now, don't think that you're going to take your project and smush it flat so it can be whiter. That's a bad idea because this is meant to be a box that holds things. If you flatten it out and make a pancake, can it hold anything? No, it cannot. So, got it sliced and diced. This is where we get our extra clay so that we can add details to our box. So, I'm going to take my wire loop tool here, and I'm going to draw where I'm carving to get the inside out. And this space here, you want it to be at least as thick as your pinky finger. If it's any thinner, then it can't hold the weight that you're setting on top of it. Now with this tool, you find whichever end is bigger. So if it's pointy, don't use the pointy end. I have different shapes for my tools. And you're going to use these to gently carve out the inside. We don't want to go all the way through the bottom. That would be bad. And do not dig with it. As I mentioned, it's not a spoon. It's not a shovel. So you put it in just very, very shallow, and then glide it along and take out little bitty chunks. Looks kind of like when you're slicing cheese. So we're not going deep. It takes a little bit of time, and your pieces that you take out will stay moist longer if you keep them together. So as you're taking them out, work on bunching them together. Okay, I've done my carving. As you can see, the inside is not beautiful. So you want to get your finger wet and use the water to help smooth things out on the inside. Now, if you get this far and there's still time left during class, you may take the top and start doing some carving. Do not work on making pieces to attach yet, and we will do that on day 2 when we work on this. Also, you might want to check and make sure your box still matches, that your lid and your bottom still match. If they don't, we adjust the bottom to match the top. We do not take the top and smush it into oblivion to make it match the bottom. So I'm just reshaping my bottom. It got slightly out of whack when I was doing my carving. Trying to make sure they still match up. Now the way this works as a carving tool, you already saw really, really rough carving. We can make carving that looks better than that. So if I had a space pod that had a little window at the front, I can draw the little window very lightly with my tool, and then I could take the tool, and if I hold it at an angle, gently carve part of the clay away. And this is called low relief. We're creating a little bit of a raised area on our project that makes it look more dimensional. And as for the rough stuff, you just wipe it down with your finger. So you can add a little bit of space age decoration just with carving, and then we can build onto it next time.